we're almost on.
When he gets close, then you're on.
Yeah, and then we're on.
I think we were on a while ago.
Okay, and welcome to What's New to begin
1920. I think she,
2014. Oh, my Lord. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. All right, I am old, Mike. And Iris, do you want to introduce our guests tonight?
okay, who's going first? Did you guys decide? Okay, we're going to have Antoinette Tony Vape, and she's going to talk about the game.
Auxiliary happenings.
Oh, the auxiliary, more than just the game thing.
Right.
Okay, so Tony's going to let us know what's happening at the hospital auxiliary.
Okay. Well, our game day that was scheduled for tomorrow has been canceled. And
That's why you
wonder
don't want to
why.
talk about it.
It could be the
It
weather.
could be the weather, yeah. And we
That's
had a
why she didn't
backup
wanna
date
talk about
for
it.
Tuesday, the 14th, next week. So then our Cardin game day will be from 1 to 5 at Tuesday at the Legion Hall. And it's $6 a person, and you bring whatever game you want to play. And we provide the
Snacks and refreshments.
snacks and refreshments, paper and pencils, whatever you need to keep score and stuff like that. And we have drawings every half hour for door prizes to make it a little more interesting. We learned about this fundraiser at our meetings we went to, and they said it's a lot of fun, and we thought we'd try it.
You mean they're going to play board games then?
They can play board games, they can play any kind of
Can you
card
play
game.
poker?
Sure, if they bring, you know.
In other words,
Each-
you bring your,
you bring your group
Your
and-
group and your...
and whatever you're going to play, yes. And then I wanted to talk about our quilt days that are coming up. We're quilting on January 22nd from 1 to 4:30. That day, we set the quilts up. And then the following Thursday and Friday, the 23rd and 24th, we'll quilt all day from 8 to 4:30. And lunch will be provided by the hospital. And we make baby quilts for the gift shop and sell
And
them
they
there.
are beautiful.
Yeah.
yes.
And then our third event for January is National Pie Day, which is on January 24th, that Friday. And the members who want to participate bake pies, and we sell them at the hospital from 8 to, usually noon we run out. And that's one of our big fundraisers.
And you can buy one piece of pie, or a whole pie,
right.
or two pies,
Right,
A whole bunch of them.
a whole bunch.
right.
You're going to have a party, the perfect place to go.
A lot of times ladies will come in and have a piece of pie and a cup of coffee and,
Oh, that'd be cool.
you know. And then they will take a whole one home,
Yeah.
you know. So, that's it. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
Okay, and anybody that wants to call in, it's 883-7675.
And if anyone would like to reserve a table for the game day next Tuesday, they can call me at 883-0190. Okay?
Boy, tomorrow, if it wouldn't have been so bad, it would have been a perfect day for all the kids that are home. They could have families could have come out and brought their kids.
Oh, my goodness.
That would have been,
Would you have been ready for that?
I don't think so.
that might not have been the right thing to say. Those kids would rather be out playing in the snow. Of course, this is not a very good snow.
Right.
To play in. You touch it and it falls apart.
It's heavy.
Is it? I did.
That snow is heavy.
There's a lady down the street shoveling right now. I have stopped and talked to her. I said,
It's heavy.
you shouldn't be doing that. She said, why not? I've been doing it all day. And I said, okay.
Oh,
I
good
shoveled my
Lord.
carport.
Did you? Dave used the tractor.
I had to
He
get
made
out.
me a path to get out. Okay.
He's all hard, isn't
And
he?
you know what happened? I couldn't get out. Because,
Because of snow drifts.
yes, oh, it was awful out there. Chris Kurtz came by on the road out there with his snowblower and blew it all in our neighbors and our, filled it up. We got a snowdrift that's when you're sitting in the car. It's right up at the top of my window in our driveway.
Oh, for heaven's
So I
sake.
got up against that. Well, and then I tried to get out and I couldn't make it, so I backed up, tried it again. Well, I was backing out, which was bad anyway. And I tried it again. I went back in the house and Dave says, "You want me to do it?" And I said, "Nope, I'm just staying home." So then he went out and he took some more off where I could make a turn, because he just had it straight out to the street. There was no way you could turn on the street.
Right.
He should have tried it out.
You should have called Chris back and said,
Oh,
Chris,
no, this was after Chris had
Oh,
passed already.
okay.
Yeah, Debbie had a little, she had a little path too, just as wide as a car. There we are. Anyway, I backed it in this afternoon when I left, so it was easy to get out. Anyway, that's my snow story. And Mary Ann shoveled hers off?
I shoveled my carport so I could move the car out of the carport.
I hired a guy to do mine.
And my neighbor was so sweet.
You contributed to the
He came
economy.
and
That's right,
Good
because
going, Mary
it
Ann.
says on television, if you're a certain age,
You
Right.
shouldn't.
you shouldn't be doing those things.
No,
I'm a certain age, I'm not doing those things.
Yeah, everybody had on Facebook, Dave's too old to be doing that. It's too cold for Dave outside. He was all wrapped up.
That doesn't make any difference.
Red came and did our driveway.
Did he?
He does that every year. Does all, he starts with Dr. Charlo and goes around and does them all.
Well, bless our neighbor's heart.
Yeah.
I guess they saw me digging a path to my car to get out to it, and the next day, I told her, I said, well, I'll try to at least get the back out where I could, well, it took me 45 minutes Monday morning at 4 o'clock to try
Oh,
to
my
get
gosh.
back out, because I did the path, but I didn't realize the drift was so bad.
were you closed
Oh,
Monday?
yeah.
No,
Somebody said McDonald's was closed.
no. And we opened on time.
Well, I mean, someone said
They
they were closed.
have to, and I'm gonna say this while I'm on television. If anybody has a McDonald's that has a day shift, like our McDonald's, that is so loyal, those girls, Jeanette and Joanne and Betty, have never missed a day because of the snow. Never.
I would
Oh, I
believe
believe
I've been
that.
out there 30 years.
They're
I
good
believe
workers.
that.
Absolutely. And I can't give them a raise, but I thought they needed a bonus, and that didn't help either. I don't give those. I don't get the right to give those.
You don't have that right, huh?
But, you know, when you have somebody that loyal, then here I am, there was no way I could stay at home, I lived in town.
Even if you had to walk to get
Even if I
there.
walked, I told them, I said, you guys might have to come get me. But, you know, most of the time their husbands brought them in, but still they
Yeah.
came in.
Right.
We should have been close.
Yeah, they're good workers.
Yeah,
Should have been close, for the safety of people.
right.
That's how I look at it, the safety.
So Tony,
so-
how many people do you have signed up for?
We have 5 groups so far,
5 groups?
Mhm.
Okay.
and that ranges from 4, 6 to 8.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so, yeah. So maybe since it's delayed and people are gonna wanna get
More
out,
people.
maybe they'll come.
It's on
And
the
that's on the 14th?
Yes,
14th, yeah.
And it starts at what time?
1
At 1?
to 5.
1 to 5.
That's on a Tuesday?
Yes.
Girls,
Now,
we can go.
doesn't Janet have hers on a Tuesday out there at the Legion Hall?
Janet who?
Janet Apps and,
You mean pitch or something?
yeah, don't they play?
I don't know, but see, we're in the hall, we're not in the league.
Oh,
room.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know they had a group.
Yeah, yeah, I seen it advertised on,
What do they play for?
on Channel 98,
oh, really?
yes. Because they always say, if you're interested in playing, call Janet, or I think it's Ann. Don't know for sure, but I know it's Janet Apps.
Boy, they play pitch.
Pitchings, yeah.
I forgot how to play.
I did too, I used to when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I used to
I
play
love
all the
to play
time and I
pitch.
forgot
I
how.
don't know how.
Okay, let's see what Martha and Mike have to say about their park. I mean, I always say park. It's a fair Christmas and other events that you're gonna have up there.
Almost didn't have it,
I know.
Yeah.
So Mike, are
almost.
you going to talk about the Christmas fair?
Yes.
Okay. We're sorry. Turned out so lousy.
Well, it all worked out. I mean, we're all pleased with the turnout we had. What was it, 100 and 110? My wife's sitting over there, she's
Yeah, she
want more,
does.
but I think it was 110
And
kids.
she don't want to be on television either.
Right.
So you can zero in, Don, and ask her.
There was about 110 kids seen Santa.
I think that's great.
Well, that is.
Great,
That was great. I think-
considering weather.
Well, and I think we had the, oh, we call it.
The shop with a cop, but that's that day.
The
too.
carriage
Oh, yeah.
ride.
That was
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we had the vendors and stuff, and then, it was just the, our wood stove, our wood heater kind of didn't take care of it, but,
But wasn't that because the wind was
Well,
blowing
yeah.
so
Oh,
hard?
absolutely.
Yeah, Larry Bowman with
It
Bowman Wood
was
Heater.
really windy.
Yeah.
It was comfortable around noon when we started, but as the
Right.
day went on, the wind kept picking up and it was getting colder outside.
Oh, that wind was horrible that day.
You
Oh,
think
my
about it,
gosh.
we're trying to heat a 55 by 150 barn.
Right.
And
Wow.
We just had house
And
wrap
it does
around
not have insulation at
No.
all.
No.
I mean, he had it warm. All the snow was melting off the roof. I mean,
Yeah.
It was just. it-
And heat rises too, so.
Would you wrap
It
it?
was probably
Yeah, we
really
wrapped it
warm
with
up there
house
at the
wrap.
ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah, Buckeyes in Perryville donated
I
the
think
house
that is
wrap.
so wonderful.
it was, it
So
was.
Gosh.
we took it down. It's all rolled back up for, if you try to do, I want to do it again this
Oh,
year.
yes, yes.
You know, we-
And who knows, you might have 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
60.
Right,
Yeah.
and we had the carriage ride.
Will you schedule
Those
it?
went over really well too,
I
didn't
thought
they?
they went well,
Yeah.
yes. I mean.
I know Luann got there a little late. She got stuck in her driveway, but, I mean,
I talked to her today at the hospital. She's about had it with this cold.
I bet she has.
She said, this getting up and feeding livestock early in the morning.
When it's so
And I
cold.
said, oh, I don't think I would like that.
No, she's such a wonderful person.
She
really
is.
done a great job. Everybody that took the rides enjoyed them.
yeah. As the afternoon went on, early evening or whatever, the roads were starting to glaze over, so, well, Martha and I and another board member and his wife and kid went on one. We went on the last ride.
Did you?
The last ride, and you know what the neatest thing was? It was kind of, you know how misty looking it was all day. Well, as we were going around coming out of the fairgrounds and going up through the park, the Grimmingers had those.
Oh, all their
So
decorations
the
on.
lights were it was just like I wanted it. Snowy looking, it was beautiful, it was wonderful. It was just cold,
Oh, yeah.
They had blankets, we got the wrap up of blankets, but it was really neat.
You know, in Louisville, Kentucky, we went down there one year to a convention, and they have carriage rides, and they talk about the town. That would be something else you guys could do. That would, they would charge, like we only paid, but of course this has been in the 80s, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was
Middle
30
80s.
years ago.
And we paid
Almost
like
40. Oh, my God, Iris.
Well, we still did it, and it was fun. We each paid $4, and he took us
Now it would
all
be
over
20.
town. Yeah, and he took us all over town and explained the buildings and the historic, all the historic buildings and all the things that had went on down there, and took us by the river. and
Well, we were
It
gonna
was
do
really
two
nice.
different routes, one through the park and then a shorter one through the fairgrounds.
Through the fairgrounds.
But,
There's just too much snow on the
Too
ground.
much snow that they couldn't.
Right, yeah.
Is she going to come back
For
for
some
your?
reason.
Is she going to come back the carriage ride?
Well, she acted,
yeah.
yeah, she said she.
But that would really be
she
nice
really
to do,
enjoyed
like
it.
in the summertime,
Oh, yes.
Critter-
yes.
for the
Yeah.
public, yeah.
Critter Lane brought up animals for the petting zoo,
Oh, uh-huh.
and that went over real well. The kids really enjoyed that. We had that inside the barn, you know.
I bet they
Did
did.
they have snakes too?
No, it was,
Just the big,
I was at KC Hall one time.
Yeah, it was-
They had all those snakes out there. Oh my God, those kids love that. They were holding those snakes and petting them, and
Yeah.
that was last year, wasn't it? when they
well,
had them
during
out
our fair,
ain't holding no
Stormy Crawford
stakes.
had stuff like that up at the,
there? Did he?
yeah, and he let the kids.
Did he have it up at school when the bird got loose in the
I
gym?
remember that, Mary Ann. It was, because nobody got hurt, it was kind of fun, but not when it
No.
first got loose. But he said, when I talked to him about it, he said it was because when they were practicing, nobody was up and they weren't, everybody was sitting.
Sitting.
But when they actually set the birds out, the kids stood up
Stood
and they
up.
were and saying,
And
they
scared
were
'em.
scared him and he didn't know where to go. So he just went that way and landed on somebody. But I think all it did was just scratched him a little bit. It didn't really hurt anybody, but.
So it was a good turnout then for your fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Great.
it did. I don't even know who Santa is. That's one of,
I do.
yeah, we had.
Travis James.
Somebody said it was a good one.
Oh, my gosh.
The
Yeah, he had
band?
an older gentleman had a
The
natural
Santa.
beard and everything. and
Oh, for Santa.
He kind of, the Santa we had lined up couldn't make it or whatever, and then he stepped in and he's all for next year.
Oh,
Oh, that's
So-
he was
great.
amazing. Even little kids that didn't want, had nothing to do with Santa, he had something to do with, they had something to do with Santa by the end of the time, because he was bound and determined to get them, and they came up there and talked to him and everything.
Oh,
He
isn't that
was just-
sweet?
I mean, if there's a there is a real Santa, if anybody's listening out there, there is really one, I believe in him. But this one just, I think he was Santa's real helper.
Where was
That's
he from?
great. I'm glad I went over to that for you.
The North Pole, but this helper, James, I'm pretty sure it's Travis James. Isn't that
That's good.
awful?
Did your kids get
I
to
can't remember
pet
his
the
name.
animals too?
Yeah.
Is that fun?
And they had
Yes.
a camel and then goats, a little calf.
Oh, and they had the cloggers. I didn't get to see this, but.
Oh, I bet those
Oh,
were good.
I
The
bet
cloggers were
they
there, but
were.
listen, the camel was right here and the cloggers were right here. And they said that, were you down there when that happened, Penny? Were you down there?
I was down there.
Oh,
The camel
but
one,
they
What
said-
happened?
Well, he just got a little restless, but he didn't do anything. I mean, just kind of like, I guess when you have all them cloggers up there.
Making all that
Making all
noise.
that
Yes,
noise.
and that big camel's heads and everything.
They actually put we had it all, just one big gate where all the animals, but then they blocked the camel off. 'Cause I'm sure, you're talking, 15 people clogging around out there. I mean, he was right beside the stage. I mean, his head was about the height of the ladies that were up there clogging, so.
That's a big head.
Yeah, yeah. And then we had the live nativity. Hopefully, maybe next year. I mean, and we had suggestions. If anybody's out there that's been, that went to this, maybe they'll give us suggestions. But maybe to do the live nativity earlier, so we have some people. Of
How
course,
many
it
vendors did
was-
you have?
I would be safe to say 8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10, but there was several that called in, that didn't come because of the weather.
Didn't go.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
had at
that's
least that
snow.
many.
Yeah, we had a lot more people that were gonna perform on
Right.
stage, but it just with the weather,
Right. That was an awful day.
Well, let's hope
It was.
next year you don't
Oh, it
have
was
that,
awful,
Right.
awful.
that you can have it. Are you
But-
going to schedule it like the second weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta get,
Yeah.
around the community center and everybody else's dates, so.
Yeah,
Well, that'd be good.
but ours is probably, if we can set it on the same day, because we didn't want to do the Christmas walk,
Right.
and then they end up, didn't they didn't do it that second week, did they?
They
One
did
week-
it the
Yeah, the
Yeah,
kids-
did
yes,
it
they
all
Oh,
did.
they did do it the
The
14th.
parade,
Yeah.
everything but.
The parade
Oh,
wasn't,
everything but the parade, okay.
Right.
but there wasn't that
Yeah.
much. People
There
just stayed
wasn't
in.
hardly any people
Right.
in
Yeah,
town
when
though.
I got up to the fairgrounds.
So you guys were lucky that
We were
that you had that many
blessed.
people up there.
Absolutely.
Because
We were.
town was totally
We were.
dead.
I think the big thing for us was the Santa.
Yeah.
Probably.
And
Because I
then-
got up there a little before 8, trying to help these get set up, 'cause we were gonna pretty well go to bed Friday night, that was gonna be canceled because they're calling for more snow, but then we get up, and then another fair board member from, Jeff Everett from Bloomsdale come in, he said the roads aren't that bad, and it's melting. So when we decided, we were up there getting ready, and mom and dad and 2 kids showed up, and they said, "Hey, Santa gonna be here today?" I said, "Yeah, Santa will be up here noon to 4." Good, because the kids want to see Santa. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, everybody else canceled.
Everybody else canceled theirs, no one had Santa.
That's right. So I really think that had, but it was funny because that morning, when it was around 6 o'clock, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, Tanny was on the phone, Mike was on the phone, I was on the phone. Everybody was on their phones trying, are we going to, are we not? Are we going to, are we not? Mike goes, we're going to have to make up our mind. Just say
Yeah, 'cause
yes or no.
Tandy text everybody, yes or no, and what, you got more maybes than.
Yeah,
Got Martha that said, I'll do what everybody else says.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always tell Dave. When I ask you a question, I want yes or no.
I know.
I don't care,
I
or
know.
maybe, or whatever.
Or like my house, where do you want to go to eat or something? Where do you want to go?
Wherever you would like to go. yeah.
That is me made over. I don't care.
I
Anywhere but
just
McDonald's.
get so
That's what everybody say, I don't care, I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care. You know, I like anything.
yeah.
That's how I am.
But you figured out, yeah, you figured out.
You do. But, and then we had games for the kids, so the kids got to do games and crafts.
Yeah.
And
What kind of crafts did you do?
Those little bracelets.
Oh, those round
Oh my
bracelets, or
gosh,
the ones
those-
that
the ones
braided?
that the kids are making
Rubber
now,
bands.
those little rubber band bracelets.
called?
Oh, I
Oh,
did see
yes.
those.
Oh my gosh,
Luby
yes.
bands.
Is that what they're called?
What are they called?
Movie bands?
Luby?
Yeah.
Loopy.
After my granddaughters worked there, they saw that, that's what they wanted for Christmas. That was their new thing for Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think those were the most popular thing at Christmas.
Oh, yes, they
Yeah,
were.
because I seen two little kids sitting in a doctor's office, and I looked over there and I thought, what in the world? And it was all these little rubber bands in all different colors in this box-like.
Yes.
And they said, do you want to learn how to do it? And I thought, no, I don't think so. I'm not crafty.
Have enough jewelry.
I could probably wear that kind.
Yeah, I think I got a dozen
Yeah, it
different
doesn't have any
colors.
metal.
Yeah, I don't have any middle one, I could wear that one.
And then we had gifts for 'em, and then we were able to give gifts. We had donations from businesses, and we were able to give the kids really nice gifts from
I
Santa.
think you guys did
Well,
a
that's
great job,
nice, yeah.
considering
And then
all
we
the
had
obstacles.
the food. We had food
Yeah.
and hot chocolate.
Made
Oh,
kettle, made
okay.
kettle corn down there.
Oh, Mike's family made kettle corn. Yes,
And
that
I can tell you, it was really good.
Yes, it was. It was colored. It was green
Yeah,
and red.
green and
Oh,
red.
really?
Yes.
Oh,
For
really?
Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, yes, it's delicious. When you can almost eat a bag, that's...
Oh, I can eat a bag anyway. That's my downfall.
Tanny, what else? What are we forgetting?
She's looking at me, afraid to go put them on television.
Oh, we had the bake sale too.
Oh, yes, bake sale.
Oh, did that go well, too?
Valley and St. John's National Honor Society. And some of their, was it National Honor Society and Student Council? No, okay, just National Honor Society came, and they did all the games with the kids.
Oh,
This was
isn't
their
that-
Yes, this was their
Crafts.
Their
their crafts and their games. This
Oh.
was their service, some service hours.
Service
Isn't that nice?
So they help decorate and take decorations down, and then some of them work the food stand.
Well, that was good.
Yes, and they really got
Yeah,
in
we,
with the
you know,
kids.
as many people as it took to put this on, I mean, we wouldn't have been able to do it.
No.
Just a fair board.
Well, I think those kids always, for service hours, they'll just do
Oh,
really
yes.
marvelous things for you.
Yes. And I think next year we've got a few, we got some more, we'll have the bands and stuff. Everybody's, give us a little more time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we just started this, and it was something we thought, oh, this would be great. We don't ever have anything at Christmas time for kids.
How did you guys all decide to do this, Mike?
Well, we had one meeting and we were wanting to do
Halloween.
some for Halloween, and Halloween was like 2-3 weeks away, and it's like, there's no way we can do this. And so I brought up, let's try Christmas, do something for Christmas, at least we had a little more time to do it, so Tanny got on the horn and started calling
Calling people.
business.
What would Mike do without Danny?
What would the Fair Board do without Penny? I'm telling you.
You'd be lost.
She's-
Exactly.
You the best secretary around, huh?
Absolutely.
She's the first lady.
Yes, first lady. And you know what? And their kids are awesome. I'm telling you, they're right there. Talk about the family that works. It's amazing how they work together. They do.
And right now, the fair book ads, we're getting ready to mail them out. So, I mean,
Really?
it's starting, the fairs and the wheels in motion for the fair now. We gotta get the fair book ads.
When do they
out.
have the contest for is that pretty
That's
soon?
probably isn't it January or February, because we have to have that in our
Yeah.
book. So it's somewhere around there. I know Barb will be getting that stuff up to the schools, or they'll be getting them to the schools and stuff. So,
I think
Well,
those are
good.
so cute.
Then this'll be
the
on
things
for
the
next-
kids do.
this
They're
year.
So
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Need to
great.
cover.
Did they find anybody
That's
to
wonderful.
take, the craft, over the craft area?
The 4-H?
No, actually, it was Bev Roth that had it.
Well, the open exhibits.
Oh, open
Yeah,
exhibits. Yeah.
Did they find anybody for that?
Not yet.
I thought Amanda was.
Oh,
there.
that's right, Amanda
Yeah.
said she was.
Yeah.
Who is?
I think
Amanda Swint.
Schwint.
She's a Fair Board member.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. She works for Midwest Marketing.
I don't think I know her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah.
Bev did it for so
Oh,
long.
she was so good at it too. She really was good. She was really good. Yeah, I don't think people realize that, you know, our fair is over, but there's not a meeting that we go by that we don't talk about something back in the fair or whatever.
You almost
We-
have to get it
So-
planning for the whole year because
Absolutely.
it's so much to do.
Yeah, I think the sled's already booked for the fair and the September event already. We had to get booked to hold the sled and the pulling company so we can get them here. I mean, that's, you know, that's almost a year
Yeah,
advance.
you have to do it that way.
So, yeah, we want to, I know we had 3 events last year, and I'd like to see more this year.
Aren't we gonna have something?
We're talking about having a truck pull
Yeah.
before the fair.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
that'd
where
be
the
good.
local kids, I call them
Oh,
now.
for the-
You know, just the everyday
the
driven
local
trucks on
kids,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, the local.
See, he's
Yeah.
getting old now. Yeah,
I'm
you
a little
are.
over halfway. I was gonna say half, but well, you're not, I know you're not 96. Pushing it, but I gotta give her a hard way.
You know what's neat, Mary Ann?
And you know-
Everybody knows you by Mary Ann. You don't have to say anything else, Mary Ann.
I know.
Or stop it. Remember? 2 people that you just know them by their first name.
First
Oh,
names,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Mary Ann's the youngest one of us 3.
Oh, I
She's a
know.
baby,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I guess I'm the oldest.
I guess. And I guess I'm the middle. Middle child. I always have such a rough way to go.
But, you know, we're looking for, you know, more vendors, so if anybody's interested in contacting us, and we did have some of them that were interested, but at that time, you know, maybe next year, because they'd already had something booked, but, you know,
Well, I
and
would
vendors.
Yeah,
hire
if
for
you
the
give,
fair
if you
and-
give them enough time,
Mhm,
they can
yeah.
move their stuff around.
Well, we figured probably after September, after our September thing, we'll start working on the Christmas thing. But it was, I mean, it was nice. The
What
whole
events are you
building
going to
was.
have this year?
Well, we're wanting to do that truck pull before the fair, and then the fair will be in July, and then our September truck and tractor, that sanction pull, and then
Oh,
Christmas.
that's from all the different states, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see, you know, like a weekend, you know, maybe like a Saturday all day for, you know, have something for the kids, you know, the Ferris
Yeah.
wheel and stuff, the amusement rides or whatever. It's so expensive to get
Right.
in here, and it just, you know, we gotta stay within a budget, you know. But I'd like to see more stuff for the kids, because back up when I was a kid, man, there's always stuff going on. You know, I remember bands playing in the bank parking lots, you know. I know it's for, you know, older kids, but I mean, if we can have something during the day and then maybe a band in the evening and stuff, but,
You gotta, if you want mom and dad to come to do stuff, you're gonna have to have something for the kids.
Right.
Because what are they gonna do with the kids?
yeah.
And it used to be, we had a swimming pool up at the park and,
Which was nice.
and things which we
was.
don't have anymore.
Yeah.
So,
That's a shame. We're just, you know, this was our whole thing. This is what we want to do. We want to do it for our community. We want to do it for the kids and the
And
adults.
I think the kids' activities are really, you know, maybe you could
They are.
build a roller rink. You know, just do the outside of it, leave the inside and blank.
Yes.
That would be
Could be
fun.
ice, or it could be just,
Yeah,
we're gonna remember.
but I don't know where you could put that at
I
down
don't
there. Everything is so crowded.
We just don't have enough room, you know.
But that would really be nice, you know.
Our goal is to get some stuff done this year, electrical work.
Bathrooms. That's a big expense.
A bathroom.
Porta potties.
Yeah.
People don't
Yeah.
realize what that costs.
Oh, yeah,
mean,
I
it's
do.
We could, you
I
know,
do.
you could put a building on the hill in 6 years probably, you got the building paid for. So.
And with
it's-
volunteer help
Right.
and volunteer
'Cause it
lumber
costs
and
us
stuff. you could-
Almost, well, it's at like, what is it, 1,800
Yeah,
for the fair? And then
it was 1,200 for
1,200 for the
September.
September. So there's three.
Just for porta
Right,
potties.
just for
Yeah,
porta
three-
pots. And that's
3,000.
every year.
And the sewer runs, you know,
And-
through the property. into
Yeah,
the
and you could
location.
probably get a loan and do that, maybe.
Well.
I mean, you know, or
we're-
get.
We
get-
applied for a grant.
Oh.
So hopefully the grant will help us,
Yeah,
you know.
because there should be something out there.
Yeah, we
rather
need
than
to,
pay that
we
kind of
really
money
need to
out.
get compliance and get handicap accessible bathrooms in the
Mm-hmm.
youth buildings. So, I mean, there's so much to do.
Well, you know what, those handicap accessible are good for everybody.
Right,
When you
right.
go into a public restroom and those stalls are like this wide, you don't have room, the door, you gotta back up over the
Yeah.
pot for the
Or
door to
Your knees almost
open.
touch the door.
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
they're
You know, so
claustrophobic.
yes.
all the handicap, I mean, if they were
Yes.
all handicapped,
Right.
that would be good.
Yes.
You know, and, I mean, just
They'd
a little bit bigger room.
than- Right. Right.
Yeah, because, you know, I don't know when that first cattle barns was built, but age is catching up with it. I mean, we, you know, dug out the rotten post and put concrete piers in.
Is that the red barn down there?
No.
No, the
That's where
one up
where
on
the
the hill?
livestock stays.
Up on the hill there?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll take a lot of money to get it back to where it needs to be, but, I mean, it's just gotta do what we can do
Right.
when we have the money. So-
Just do
One
a
step
little
at
at
a
a
time.
time.
Right.
That's all you can do.
That's what they always say, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Take the first step and then wait for the second one.
We've done that. Kenny, have we forgot anything? Trying to think what we.
Covered everything.
I'm kidding. And everybody seemed to be, you know, excited. We asked them, were you okay with it, with everything okay? And they said yes, so.
Well, there was, no, I'm not gonna lie, a couple of vendors were upset that it got cold in that barn, but, you know, when we called them, we told them, you know,
Yeah.
Tanny told me, you know, dress appropriate, you know, we'd try to get the chill out of the air, but, I mean, we had, around the base of the house wrap, we put snow, this piled snow up against the back, so the wind couldn't blow at the bottom, and then the top, we secured it, when we had
Right.
a couple spots come loose, and the wind got so hard, and we're trying to patch and repair, but, I mean, that outside wood furnace, I was tickled to death with what it did, you know, and I think you had a couple real good prospect buyers, you know, come up and see what that wood stove outside is doing inside that
It
huge
is
barn.
very, very nice to heat your house with that. We have it. I mean,
Do you-
it's work
Oh.
cutting the wood and all that, but we have it running through our garage, so it heats the garage floor and the garage is warm. And then it runs into the house and it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Because you have constant heat from the water.
I think if
And
we
our
would
hot
have been a
water
little busier, you know, with more,
More bodies.
well, I think the people pretty well stayed with the kids, you know. There were some that came just for going down to the vendors and wanted to see what was down there. But I think if it wouldn't have been so bad, that people would have went down there, more people would have went down there, I think the vendors would have been okay with it. But there just
Well,
wasn't,
another thing was the petting zoo, Critter Lane got stuck on Y Road,
Yeah.
and they got there late, so they put the petting zoo open late.
Oh, I
Because
see.
the
That's
parents
right.
were coming down with their kids to see the animals or pet the animals, and they weren't
And they
there.
weren't
And they
there.
weren't there, yeah.
So once they
That's right.
showed up, and then the mom and dads, you know, the kids went in with them, and they stood around and walked through the vendors and stuff, then there was a volume of people, steady flow going through it.
yeah.
But till the animals got down to the barn, or down there.
That's right, they weren't
So,
there yet.
I mean, weather hampered us, but, I mean, for the first year, like I said, I
The
mean.
weather hampered everything.
Yeah.
For two
Yes.
weekends in a row.
For the whole holiday season.
Yes, that's
Yes,
true.
That's
it
the
did.
truth, the whole
Screwed up the
holiday
whole
season.
season.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
but for the most of it, it was exciting.
Okay, so if anybody out there has any suggestions, call 883-7675 and voice your opinion.
And start our year right by making the phone ring, just once. Just one time, that's all we ask.
Don't you have a faithful caller?
Yeah, we do, we have one, but I don't know if she's around town.
I don't know if she is or not, I haven't seen her.
She better not be out. It's cold and
Yeah, it's
nasty,
cold,
isn't it?
yeah.
Well, what you got going on at school?
Ah!
That's probably bad.
Nope.
You hung up on her. You hung up on her.
Call back, I'm sorry.
Okay.
What's new?
Not much. How are you, Marianne?
We're fine, how are you?
Just wonderful. How did the Fair Christmas go this year?
How did what?
A Merry Christmas.
How did the fair Christmas show go? Christmas
Show
show go this year?
The Christmas show.
The fair.
Fair.
Fair Christmas.
The fair Christmas went good. You know, for somebody who didn't want to be on television, I think we got a new hostess.
That's my husband coming out in me.
Oh, so you're blaming this on Michael?
Yeah, he told me to call.
Oh, okay. He's a good jokester like that, isn't he?
Yes, he is. You have a good day.
You too, thanks for calling.
Oh, you know what? Something we forgot, Mike. At the end of the month, January, what is that? Fair convention. Yeah.
Where's that at?
Mike looks at you like to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
think of what it was called. Yeah.
Missouri Association of Fairs and Festivals. It's in Columbia, and they do the whole state of Missouri. Different fairs and organizations send people there, and they give you seminars and meetings of how to improve your fair and different things like that. I mean, we found out, I went 2 years ago, and I mean, it's all day Friday and all day Saturday from like 9 in the morning to 6 at night. You can go to this seminar about the queens or this one about safety, and I mean, it's very informative. I mean, we learned a lot, you know. And I learned more of just sitting in a group like we are here, talking to different people. I mean, Farmington fairs there, Potosi, they send 30, 40 people, you know,
Oh, my goodness.
just so you can catch all these seminars. I mean, there might be 5 seminars at 2 o'clock, you know, and
Right.
you want to catch them all and stuff. And we were sitting around talking and stuff, and, you know, how we do things, you know, like people collecting at the gates
Yeah.
wearing cloth aprons. You know, well, we got lectured real hard about having people standing out in the crowd
Right.
with money, you know, and it just, you know, they're trying to lead us down the path that we need to go to make it a better
Safety.
fair and stuff. So, I mean, like I said, 2 years ago I went. I mean, it come back with so much information. It's just, and try to, you know, implement it, make it work up here at all.
Now, you have booths now, don't you?
Yes.
Didn't you say you
Yes.
were going to?
Yes.
We have little buildings now that people are inside. The money gets passed through a window.
Air
I mean, with-
conditioned for the
with s-
workers.
That's nice.
The St. John Police Department and county sheriffs, I mean, there's, you know, I feel comfortable. Martha and my wife was one, you know, collecting money and stuff, and there was an officer with them at all times. Last year, last year when they went, the couples that went said that they really, it's terrible to say, mass shootings. You know, that's what they were emphasizing, you know, you've got to get a plan. You know,
Yeah.
something happens like that, you know, what are you gonna, where are you gonna send the people, you know?
Right.
You hate to even think
Think of stuff like that, yeah.
Right.
But there's always that chance.
Yeah, and there's so many wackos.
But we are
out there.
so fortunate, the county and the city are a big part of our fair. They're
Yeah.
really
I mean,
big part of it, they're really good. They're up
And they
there all
got
the time.
officers everywhere, and I mean, it just, it keeps everybody in line. I mean, I think the last couple of years, I mean, unless
may
it's
have a
behind,
couple.
yeah, behind the scenes that I
Right.
didn't see, but I mean, yeah, everything runs smooth, you know, and
Right.
this fair thing, or this festival's at the end of this month, and hopefully some people can go just to see what's new. And I mean, like I said, they had bands up there that you can book for your fairs and stuff. You
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
believe all these up and coming country singers and rock and roll and stuff like that. It was neat. They actually, Friday night and Saturday night, there's like 3 hours they play music. In the convention center, the stage is so big that they got 2 bands set up. You click this slide on and they'll play 5, 6 songs. The lights go off, this turns on. It's non-stop. And then when this one's dark, they're pulling off, put another band coming in. I mean, it's really neat.
Oh, my
You know, they
gosh.
might go through 8 bands in 3 hours.
And
but I
then
mean-
you book, if you want, like, see a
Yeah.
band you like, you can book them then.
Yeah,
if they're not-
then you go back to their suites or whatever in the hotel and book. I mean, yeah, it was neat. I mean, we went down, when we got back to the hotel after everything was over, all these people were performing in their rooms or their suites or out in the halls of the hotel. I mean, it was bringing back the
Conventions
day,
are
you know?
fun. Conventions are a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
Yeah,
I mean,
conventions are fun, you're out in the halls.
yeah.
I'll never forget one that I went to in Washington DC. I met this girl, well, there was 3 of us in line, and the rooms were like $79 a night. We were staying 3 nights, and it was like a lot of money. And we were all in separate rooms, so somehow or another, we decided we could share a room. So, anyway, they found out I smoked, and that was like, yeah. So this one gal comes over to me, and she says, if you open the window in the room, we could share a room. And I said, okay, and I looked at her and I said, I hope you're not gay. And she said, I was thinking the same thing. And this little 21-year-old guy was behind the counter, and he said, oh my God, you ladies. And we are still friends today, and that was in the 80s, and we still write back and forth today. Yeah, she lives in Salem, Missouri. But that was so funny.
Mike and Penny go to pretty much all the fairs, don't you guys go for your,
Well, yeah, we go to Altenburg Fair, or East Perry Fair, down to Little Perryville, and then we haven't done the Farmington Fair, but we do Potosi. We used-
Potosi's got a big one, don't they?
Yeah, they have.
It's pretty big.
You know, pretty famous singers and stuff come out there. Last year, they struggled to rain. It rained the whole fair out there.
Oh, my goodness.
And they, you know, the people still performed. I mean,
Do you go to the East Perry?
yeah, we take our buildings down there and set them up.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's a big one.
Yeah, you're looking about 30,000 people
Yeah.
on the grounds at all times. Yeah, it's even getting bigger. I mean, it's, you know, I say it all the time, you know, the rest of the fair board needs to come down there and see just how massive this fair is and stuff. And the fair board, they just sit back and like oversee the Lutheran school, like Saxony. You know, each school group takes care, you know, they own like all the foods, almost all the food stands, the beer stands. You know, this first grade parents might work this stand. I mean, it's like clockwork. I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, there's nights that I leave, you know, when pretty well the crowd's gone, and it's just trash is just everywhere, and you get back the next morning at
And
7 o'clock.
spotless.
Spotless, exactly. You don't see a thing out of place.
And that's something.
But, yeah, Altenburg Fair, they hold the record in the Guinness Book of World Records of most beer consumed.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Oh, my word.
Well,
I wonder how they did
it
St.
is true
John.
because Perry County and St. John County have the highest beer consumption
In Missouri.
of any in
Yeah,
Missouri.
I mean, that's where the money's at.
I was gonna
I
say,
mean,
that's where you.
They have beer wagons set up,
You
they'll
don't
have like
say
3.
that. I mean, you know, it's kind of horrible to have to say that, but that's where you
That
make
is.
money.
Yeah.
you know?
They'll have like 3 beer wagons, just bumper to bumper, just backed up, and they call it the mule jump contest. I've been going down that fair, I guess, since mid-90s, you know, and I never went off the hill to watch a mule jump. But they'll walk that mule up to like a stick, and it'll jump 3.5, 4 feet tall, just straight up, you know, right back down
Oh,
on the
my
ground.
gosh.
And they always Tanny and I and my brother had a food stand, and the fair board would come over and said, okay, 15 more minutes, you know. Then the crowd comes up the hill. They'll wipe any hot food and cold beer out, just like, you know, within minutes. You know, we served out, you know, we had pulled pork sandwiches and we'd sell out. You know, we have 45 pounds of meat ready to go. In 15 minutes, we're out of hot food. And everybody just stands there, just as patient can be, and wait. And then you'll see this line move. Well, then everybody hovers over here to the cheeseburger stand. This is where, but the beer wagons, that one, they got 4 tappers on the side. They'll turn them 4 tappers on and pump till they drain that wagon, turn the lights off, go move over, turn the lights on, and start the same with the
Oh,
next.
my word.
That one year, it's been many years ago, I'm sure it's a lot more, but I think on a Friday night, it was like 262 half barrels they went through on a
I
Friday.
can remember,
Headaches?
they had little jack salmons that were about this size, and they would fry them, bread them, and fry them whole, and put them on 2 pieces of bread. Oh my, that was to die, to go to
So
heaven.
we were down there 2 years ago, and one of the Fair Board members was telling us all the weights and pounds. You know, they sell, the fish they sell, like you're talking about, it's tons.
Oh,
That
yeah.
they'll sell in 2 days.
Oh, my
Oh.
God.
It's just.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
It
they
is.
have,
And it was
like,
on a sandwich.
Yeah, just jack salmon. I know it wasn't any bigger than that. I know it wasn't.
but like bunny bread trucks and stuff like that, the distributors just bring their trucks.
And set them there.
Yeah, there's buildings that just house hamburger and pork burger buns. I mean, they sell that much.
Where we go in Indiana, they do these elephant ear, big, I guess it's pork smashed, you know, beef, about yay big around on 2 pieces of bread. And they're like 4 1/4, 4.75. And that's what they do. They just sell the heck out of those
Oh,
things.
my gosh.
And they are so good. They're breaded and they're real tender.
Yeah, the pork producers down there in Altenburg, they have 2 8x12 buildings that are stacked floor to ceiling with buns, just
Oh
for
my
2
gosh.
days.
And they do the pork burgers.
Yeah.
Well, they said last year that they're dividing something up. They used to have it all together, and now they're dividing it up into different things because it's getting so big.
Yeah. They draw, from what I heard, I never went to SEMO Fair, but
That used to be a big
like I
one.
said,
We used to go down there in
7 or
high
9
school.
days long, and they'll draw more people at Altenburg Fair in 2 days
Oh
than the
my
whole
gosh.
SEMO does in
Oh,
a
my
week.
gosh.
Oh, my
yeah.
gosh. And that was so
That's a
crowded
lot
when
of
I went
people.
down there.
That's a lot
yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it was a few years ago when that tornado hit Crosstown. It was during the Friday night of the fair. And they announced that, you know, there's bad weather coming or whatever like this. And then when they said there was a tornado spotted, we were sitting, I actually had a building there with a front porch on the ground, you know, a 10 by 20 with a front porch. And it's starting to mist and rain and stuff. Well, we just put our lawn chairs up on there, and the woods just moved. I mean, people run into their cars. There's 2 roads out of there. I mean, one road to get to the Fork, and then
Oh,
you
my
head
gosh.
on double A into Perryville, or C down to Jackson. It's like, we just decided to stay, you know, because you're gonna be in your car somewhere. But when they said it hit Crosstown, the fairgrounds were empty that evening, but Saturday evening, I mean, the crowd was back. I mean, it was
Oh,
just,
my gosh.
and then we always say that if it rains, like it did this year, it rained down there during the parade. They still, from Cape Girardeau up to Perryville, pretty well every school and business shuts down for this fair.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Oh,
word.
yes.
There's been
Yeah,
like
the
one parade, I think there was 13 or 14 marching bands.
Oh,
And
for
the
Pete's
parade
sake.
goes
It's
on for 3
unbelievable.
hours,
It's unbelievable.
When is this?
September.
September.
Oh, my
And it's
gosh.
It's when
East
school-
Prairie
East
Fair?
Prairie Fair.
Yeah, it's worth going to see. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's so laid back, you know, just,
I don't know if I could stand all them people. I'm waiting in line.
well, everything goes, you know,
But they have so many that they
Waiting in
don't
line
have
to
to wait
get
in line.
there. No, I mean to get in there.
Oh.
yeah, if you're gonna go down on Friday to watch the parade, you gotta go down a couple hours earlier. You will be in a line to get in. But they bought up all the fields and property. I think they own over a mile and a half long, stripped through there, and they, just for parking.
Oh, my word.
You know, you figure 30,000 people, just imagine how many vehicles it took to get
Yeah,
them all there.
and it's not only down in that area that happens, like at the fair, but at the 2 high schools in Perryville themselves. It's just crazy when they have homecomings, because around here, you got it around the square and maybe out 4th Street and stuff. Down there, you've got it all through the city park, all the way uptown, all the way out to St. Vincent's and all the way over to PHS.
Really?
They're just
They just
thousands and
march, huh?
thousands of people
Oh,
in the
my God.
parade and people watching the parade. It's unbelievable.
Oh, my word.
Never seen that.
Yeah,
Berryville,
it's
Berryville
something
St.
else.
Vincent's homecoming.
Oh, yeah. It's
my
really
goodness.
something. They love parades down in Perry County. They do. They love them. And that's not because I'm from down there.
I would not think
No.
so.
Oh, I wondered how that got.
Yeah.
I think our streets are pretty crowded. I mean, they don't go that far, but the
Right.
streets are really
Yeah,
crowded.
they are
with people.
crowded.
Yeah. You have some areas that are just overpacked and
Right.
some that are just,
Yeah,
there's
just
always,
few.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Valleys is neat because it's all pretty much flat and everybody's got their lawn chairs.
Right.
Yeah,
All
lined
the way
up.
out 4th Street and all the way out
Right.
Rozier.
Oh, yeah.
Where Dr. Scott used to live. I don't know who owns that house now on 4th Street there. We like to sit right there. on
Jamie
the-
Inman.
Yeah.
Jamie owns that?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we like to sit right there on that walk.
On
right
the
up
walk,
right
yeah.
there. That's fun, yeah. I didn't know.
Yeah, this year was a big loss because no Christmas parade.
Oh, no, we didn't.
No.
It
And
was,
doesn't
she
sound-
had so many people lined up for
Yeah.
that, over 100
and all the
Isn't that what
people
she
for
said, over
the,
100?
yeah, and all the people that were.
for the entertainment.
That was gonna perform that day. It was just a shame. It's,
So hope next year will be better.
next year we will pray long and hard for no snow.
Well, it would be very odd to have 2 years like this.
Yes,
Well, this was what, 15 years?
Since
or-
1999, they said on Channel 2.
99, it was like this?
That's what he said.
I
The
remember a
coldest
really
weather.
cold one when
I
we
think that was
were.
82 or 83, we had a great big
I think
snow.
that was in
Oh, yeah.
83, because I
That's-
remember we
June,
walked
yeah.
off the top of
That's
it. We walked
what-
off the porch on top of the snow.
I couldn't remember what year it was. I said either 82 or 83.
Yeah.
Snow was up to my window in the front
Oh,
of my
yeah.
house.
It was
We had-
drifted in our driveway like it is now because the wind was so ferocious then too. And then there was another one when David was 7 years old. It came over our driveway like this and he dug all that
Made an
snow out and
igloo.
made an igloo and he
Yes.
played out there forever.
Yeah, we
David,
had-
get in here. He said, no, it's warm out here. And he was a little bitty kid, like 7 or 8
But do
years
you know
old.
what they told Bobby,
Yeah, a
I can't
lady,
think of his name.
a lady or a guy?
It was a boy that went to school with John and Jim. Bobby Greminger. He
Oh,
passed away, but Bobby Greminger and David Bosler and John and Jim and Mark Steckley, and I'm trying to think of who else. There was a couple more. They built an igloo in the back.
did they?
And-
With the blocks?
They had these cartons and they made them, the blocks and stuff, and I thought it was so much fun and it was huge. Until somebody looked at one of the pictures one day and said, do you know how easily that could have caved in and killed those kids? And I thought,
Oh, how awful.
shit.
Not if they had their angles right.
Oh, my
But they were
gosh.
just little boys.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so cute.
That's funny.
Oh, that's
I
not,
thought
when
about
we were
that.
kids and it used to snow a lot back then, and we walked to school, we never got off. We
Well,
just
yeah,
walked to school and everything. Well, we used to build a fort on our street, and we had teams, half over here and half over here. And we
Ice
would make ice balls.
oh, and they hurt.
Oh, yeah, they hurt.
You remember
And
when
your
they
hands
used
were so
to
cold.
close the
Hill
hills by
between-
St. John
yeah.
and come down those
You could
double
go all the way
Yes.
down, yeah.
sleigh
And
That's where
ride.
we used to sleigh ride.
Yeah.
And then over in our neighborhood too, off of Memorial Drive,
Uh-huh.
they used to build a fire and that was an alley back then.
Oh, my.
Build a fire and all the older kids in the neighborhood would have the fire And us little kids, they didn't want us around, but we went anyway. But they used to slide, we used to go all the way down there to Leahy Street too.
Yeah, that was Double
Yeah.
Hills.
Yeah, the Double Hills was
I thought
fun.
that was so exciting,
Yeah, I was
coming in
in-
from out of town.
I'm surprised they let you do that.
But you know what? It was hard walking up those hills after you went down.
It was
We got
easier
our
when you got up there and went down.
We had good exercise back then.
Well,
Yeah.
back, when my kids were younger, they had the football, St. John's football field. Well, we lived right up there, and we'd go out, and the hill was big, and then right down here was that little dip like this, and then you went up to the track. Well, it wasn't, it was just grass then. Oh my gosh, the whole neighborhood, and people from everywhere would come and go down those hills. And then they had an area where it was just packed right, and some of the more daredevils would go down there and go up that thing and kind of fly off. And, I mean, if you knew how to
How to
ride
maneuver,
one.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was just fun watching them.
Well, when we were first back from the Azores, and we were living out at the apartments, Dr. Mueller was across the hall, and he had a toboggan. And that snow in '77, he said, let's go up in the park and we'll use this toboggan. And it was by the swimming pools, and there were no fences there.
Right.
Oh my God, I thought my heart or my stomach was way up there.
Oh,
That was quite exciting, but there was a long walk back up.
Yeah.
That little side street that goes on, it comes down by the tracks. It's on, where the VFW hall is, that little side street where Bosler lived
Right,
down on the
right.
corner. The kids used to go up at the top of that, and they would get going, and somebody was down there watching for the
well,
traffic.
yeah,
and
but
they
you
zoom
go right across
Yeah, they
Main
went right
Street.
across
But
the
they
railroad
used to
tracks.
block ours off for us.
They
We
just-
didn't have to worry about them coming
Right
out.
across the railroad tracks. There's a
We
lot
weren't
of
allowed-
broken
yeah,
legs
we
and
weren't
bones
allowed
up
to
there.
go up there. We had to stay over on Memorial Drive.
Oh, there was a lot of bones broken on that little thing.
Oh, well, our
Fun,
time
fun.
is just about up for
Did
this
you have
evening.
anything for the school going on that you'd like to report?
Other than getting back to school.
Getting the snow out of the way.
And what did I tell you kids tonight
Right.
about when school would be back in?
March.
March.
Well, right, as of right now, we'll be making up, goodness gracious, Memorial Day, Martin Luther King's Day. And then after today and tomorrow, up until Friday, we're off all Friday, graduation day, not graduation, but, we'll be in school until May 30th for sure.
May
And then-
30th.
Yeah, and then we'll be taking the, Thursday and Tuesday of the Easter break. Those would be 2 makeups. We decided not to take all of that. Every year, God bless the teachers, they plan.
And then they don't get their
And it's
break.
not their fault that, and they're told, well, don't plan this, don't do this, don't count on that. Well, that's easier said than done. You don't think you're gonna have something, then all of a sudden you get this stuff.
Yes.
It's not their fault. So, we decided, the board decided that, you know what, we're gonna give them 2 days, we're gonna give them 1 day, whatever, we're gonna give it to them. So for sure, the Friday and Monday.
And they're still talking about more bad weather.
Oh, yeah, and,
So,
I think it's 11 days we're allowed to miss. I mean, it's up to 11 days, and then after 11 days, I
Then
think
it's
it's
excused.
it's every other day, or it's half of what you have to make up. So it's half of those days that you have to
Well,
make up.
they probably won't have school
But-
Friday then, will they?
I don't know that.
Well, it's
but
supposed
I
to be
would-
warm for 3 days.
Yeah,
they
so
might.
Friday they should
count.
be able to go to school.
well, yeah, I
They're
don't
getting
know.
it- but they're
Because
getting anything tomorrow.
Oh,
look
that's
at
right,
the,
tomorrow
look
they
at the
can't.
roads.
But
That's
Mary Ann,
right.
Yeah.
some of our roads are, our in-town roads are still,
Yeah.
God bless the people that have to
Yeah.
work on them, but.
And the county roads,
the
those
counties.
country county roads,
Yeah.
those side roads,
Well, and the businesses in town, how
Right.
can anybody get to them?
Right.
You
But
know, it's
what? If
hurting
anybody's
everything.
one life is not worth
That's right.
going to school
No.
till the middle, I don't mean middle, but to the
They had these little
beginning
things
of
on the
June.
television
Not one
at
life.
5, where the people were writing in and saying that it wasn't worth their kid's life to go to school. And they had to
didn't.
stand out,
3
some of them
weeks.
had to stand and some had to walk.
Oh, absolutely.
A whole mile to the
Absolutely.
busing.
Yeah.
And most of the places that they had to stop and wait for their buses, there was no road, there was no street, there was nothing. There was no sidewalk, no place for the kids to stand except out in the middle of the street where it was
Yeah.
clear.
Right.
And they said it wasn't worth it.
Well, over on our neighborhood, yesterday, of all the people that were out, there was very few cars. But there was maybe 10 or 11 young kids, and not one of them was walking on the sidewalk. Every
No.
one of them was in the
In
street.
the street,
Because the sidewalks were not cleaned.
No.
Right.
It was too cold for,
Anybody
like
get
over
out
in
and
our
play?
neighborhood, they're mostly senior citizens.
Yeah.
They can't get out and do it.
That's- That's all.
They're old like you.
Yeah, old people like me.
She's picking on you now. I didn't have to throw that.
I know you didn't.
So we are.
You heard what I said, didn't you?
No, but I think I know what you said.
So,
I'm right
anyway.
up there with her.
Okay, so Iris, who are we having next?
We are having brain warp.
Brain freeze.
I think if the kids from the No Bull Challenge don't have any commitments at school, Diane's supposed to see if they'll come and tell us how their club's going and what they've been doing and what all they've got farmed. And I have somebody else scheduled. Who is that? I have forgotten who the other one was, and I left my book at home. Who did I tell you? Did I tell you somebody?
Boy, you're asking a good one.
Okay, well, anyway, we don't, it'll be in the newspaper.
Just come in and tune in to us, and it'll be a surprise.
And read the paper and read Facebook. I put it on there right before I left tonight. I went in, put on them watches, so hopefully somebody did.
Okay.
So anyway, we will be back on the 22nd, and tune in and watch us. And we will have a guest, or 2, or 3, or 4.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank
And
you all for
And
coming.
Yes,
anybody
and
can come in this, anybody that's got anything in
Oh,
town.
yes.
Oh,
any of that
yeah.
can be on this, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we welcome anybody. We like people.
And
we like to
you.
promote, well, thank you.
And we love all you people to watch us.
And we like to promote our St. Genevieve businesses.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely, right.
And all the activities going on.
Right.
Because a lot of times people don't pick up the paper and read that.
No.
So, anyway, we'll
Glance
be
through,
back
you
on the
know.
22nd, and thank you, Miss Tony, for coming, and Martha
Thank you,
and
Mike.
Mike. and-
Thank you.
Tammy and the
Tammy.
Even though
kids.
you didn't want to be gone.
And y'all come back and see us again.
Oh, did you see that hillbilly thing that's gonna be on next? Oh, my gosh.
Hillbilly.
Yeah, on television.
No, when's this gonna be on?
I don't know, but I bet it's gonna be something else. It's sort of like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, really?
Oh, I would like
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
You guys know what the Beverly Hillbillies
You mean
are. I
a new
didn't think so.
program?
Petticoat Junction? Well, they wouldn't even know what that is.
Oh, I like Petticoat Junction.
So, good night, everyone.
Thank you all.
Don, you can take us off the air now.
And thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
And don't forget to lock up.
Yeah, don't forget to lock up, or the police will be after you.